Blessed afternoon, collective. I don't even know if I know how to do this anymore. It's not like it's been that long, but... Oh, and I'm acutely aware that this is feeding into an identity. There's an identity wrapped up in this. But I'm aware of it, and I don't want that to stop me from doing a thing. If I feel like doing a thing. But it's been tricky. It's been tricky to discern my motivations. Is it really a good feeling? Or is it something that is shoring up a component of ego? Because that's definitely in there. That whole, what happens if I stop reading cards? What happens if I stop doing this? I mean, nothing happens. I just stop. That's what happens. That's it. But then the mind wants to overcomplicate it and turn it into, am I going against my soul? Am I going against ego? What am I doing with that? It's none of, there's none of that. None of that. I'm just feeling more and more that we complicate things. I complicate things. We complicate things so much. Trying to figure out exactly what the thing is. It's all right. It's all right. You can't do it wrong. You cannot get it wrong. So maybe I just stop thinking about all of it, stop worrying about all of it, and let it be. Stop questioning, stop trying to understand, stop trying to analyze and assess and examine continuously, because it's exhausting and it doesn't change anything. Really, it's just a trap. It's a distraction from just being present and feeling good in my body in the moment, from being in contact with the bliss that is the nature of existence. That's all it is. And so I could just put all of that down. And I think that's what I'd like to do. Again and again, is just stop questioning anything that's happening. Notice it, but stop asking why and what does it mean. Stop asking it to explain itself. Nothing needs justification. It's not a means to some other end. It's just the end in itself. It is what it is. It's there. Experience it. Don't let it distract me from feeling good. I have the ability to choose to just feel good. I can do that. I can choose to feel good for no reason. And all it takes is not following thought, not contradicting that, not contradicting the good feeling that is my natural state, that's always there. Just letting the peace naturally arise and stay there. And anytime I feel myself departing from it, I have the power and the choice to just stop departing. I don't even have to return. I don't have to get back to it. I just stop doing the thing I'm doing that's distracting me from it, and I'm there. I'm there. I do feel like pulling cards just to kind of see what happens. Just to see what happens. Maybe I won't feel anything. I don't know. Maybe I'll just make a fool of myself. That would certainly satisfy a component of shadow that likes humiliation. That would feel really good there. So I win either way. But I'm interested. I'm interested in just being. I'm interested in not questioning and understanding things as much as I have been, and just letting it happen, letting it unfold, floating merrily along knowing that I'm taken care of, that life takes care of me, the universe takes care of me. I am life. There goes a hawk. Just chugging happily along, knowing that it's all good and it all works out for me. And there's nothing I need to question or figure out or really understand. All of that understanding is just conceptual anyway. It's made up. The only true knowing is in the direct experience of the thing, and that means you're in the thing experiencing it. So all of this pre-understanding, this trying to figure it out beforehand, is meaningless. Once you get there, all of that shit's out the window anyway. None of it meant anything. The sun, the sun, the sun, the sun keeps coming up. I was just remembering that analogy that I've experienced and used of it doesn't matter how many years you spend, you can dedicate your whole life to studying the sun, learning everything about it, learning how it works, how it's formed, all of the chemical processes that take place, all the ideas of what it looks like and what it feels like, but they're all just ideas. And none of that shit fucking matters when you're standing in the sun, experiencing it for yourself. None of the concepts and the theory and the idea and the understanding is actually knowing the sun. None of it. And once you're there in the sun, feeling it, experiencing it, knowing it directly, all of that knowledge that you've accumulated is revealed to be totally useless. It's just trivial, really. None of it compares. None of it has anything to do with the experience of being in the sun and knowing it for yourself. You didn't need any of it. You could just drop it. You could just stop trying to figure it all fucking out and let it be and be in the experience and the wonderment of that experience, of the unfolding, of things happening before your eyes. We rob life of so much magic by all of this understanding of processes. We don't even look at trees. We don't even look at nature anymore. Because we're not looking and experiencing it directly. We're thinking about what that is. That is tree. Tree is plant. Plant has roots. Plant has chlorophyll. Plant is designed to convert sunlight into nutrition and absorb CO2 and emit oxygen and all of this fucking ultimately unimportant to the experience of the plant data. And I know, whatever, we've done all kinds of great stuff with that knowledge. I'm not gonna deny that. But how has that really benefited us? Are we happier for it? Are we? Do we feel better? Are we a happier world because of all of the study and analysis and scientific understanding of everything? Are we? Genuinely. Happier. Yeah, we could point to all of this stuff. Well, but look at all the stuff that we've built. Look at all the things that we can do. We can grow cells in a laboratory. Okay, cool. Are you happier because of that? Or are we not getting more and more lost in this? And just angrier and more isolated and unhappy as a result? And of course, the mind wants things to keep going that direction, because that's the direction of mind dominance, mental dominance, masculine energy dominance. It's go, 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 do, dig, find, figure it out. All of it just covering up the easy, essential, naturally peaceful and happy truth of being. All of it keeping us from just seeing the world as it really is. Not statistics, not data, not concepts. Real. Alive. Everything is alive. All of that just covers it up. It flattens it. It makes it two-dimensional. We've been turning a multi-dimensional existence into a fucking flat one. That, of course, is woefully unsatisfying and unfulfilling because we've squashed all of the true meaning from it. We have squashed the life out of it by flattening it into concepts and theories and information. Information. There's so much fucking information. There's no actual experience of what is. And when we just let ourselves experience what is, not only does everything feel better, we discover it all feels really good, actually. Actually, what is great. All the time. Actually, what is feels like peace and excitement and joy and connection and bliss, varying degrees of bliss all the time. That's what is. And not only that, it all just works. We don't have to know. We don't have to fucking know. We don't have to figure it all out. We don't have to have a plan. We can trust and let it be taken care of. We can float down this river instead of trying to navigate and paddle. Most of the time when we're paddling against the current. We're trying to go upstream. And it doesn't ever actually accomplish anything. There's a lot of movement. Oh, there's frantic movement, and so maybe it feels like, well, we're doing a lot more here. There's so much more movement happening. We must be doing something. We're not doing anything. It's all just running on a hamster wheel. It's all still going the same way it was already going. We're just taking the longer route. Not even the scenic one. Just the one that's unnecessarily, arbitrarily more difficult and less pleasant. Just fucking because. Because we think we have to, because we think we're supposed to, because we think there's something to achieve or accomplish there. There isn't. There's nothing there. That road leads nowhere. Actually, it leads to the same place that all the other roads lead. It just keeps winding around. Instead of going straight to happiness, we're just circling it indefinitely. That's what thinking does. All of this thinking, I gotta think my way through, I gotta think my way out. Think. I gotta think about my feelings. What am I feeling? I gotta think about it and analyze it. But when you're thinking, you're not feeling. And you're actually keeping that feeling fucking stuck. The only way to set that feeling free is to stop thinking about it. To stop trying to figure out why it's there and what it's trying to tell me. And just feel it. Be directly in it. Experience it in the moment. Stop thinking. Stop trying to understand. Yes, I'm on a rant. And I'm talking to myself. And I am talking to society, but I'm talking to myself. Because this is where I have been for the vast majority of this life experience. Probably all of them. That I am now finally coming to this conclusion that I am sick and tired of thinking. I'm sick and tired of understanding and analyzing. I just want to be. I want to put thought down, to let it serve me when it might in the realm of imagining and dreaming. But for the rest of the time, for that thought to just go away, to just be still, essentially. It is so excessively used. And all of that excess is just wasted energy. energy that I would better serve myself and all by investing in being and choosing to feel good. That's where the work is. The work is feeling good. That's the real work, not figuring something out. Not, oh, I better understand why I'm thinking this thought or feeling this feeling. Nope. Hearing that, feeling that pull and saying, I'm going to do the real work of staying right fucking here. Right here, not following that, not pulling that thread, because it doesn't unravel and reveal anything. It just keeps going. There's just more thread. That trail doesn't end. I'm not going to reach the end of it. It's a trick. It's a trap. It's a trap. Just keeping me from realizing the bliss of being. The perfection of the present moment. The perfection of myself in this present moment. Of all that is. That this is all I ever gotta do. This is my work. Staying here and choosing to feel good. Which really just means choosing not to follow thoughts out of feeling good. Because feeling good is where I live. That's my natural state. That's where I dwell. It's only that I depart from it when I let a thought hook me and pull my attention away. That's it. So my only work is to stop following thoughts, to notice when they're trying to hook me, yeah, but not leave, not depart from this place, the oasis of now, the present moment. This is where I live. This is where I stay. This is my home. That's the responsible thing to do. If I want to be responsible, this is the most responsible, the most realistic, the most practical action I can take of all of it, is to feel good on purpose, which means not following the thoughts that lead me out of feeling good, that lead me out of the present moment. That's my service to myself and all self. Feeling good. Remembering that that is my natural state and just staying here. Just staying here. Feeling good on purpose. All of the time. All of the time. And if I notice that I've departed from that, that's okay. And I don't beat myself up about it because I realize that's just taking me further out of the good feeling. I just suddenly notice and go, oh, stop doing that. Get back to feeling good. That's it. Again and again and again. Over and over. That is my only job. That's my only work. That's where the work is. This full moon in Leo. I'm going to pull cards and I don't even know. It's been, I don't know how long since I pulled cards. I'm just gonna flow and riff on the energy and be here with it and not fucking question it. Not fucking question it. Not lose sight of what is. That's what I'm feeling from this Queen of Swords. Just gonna stay here with my laser focus on the now. I'm not gonna take my eye off of it. When an owl is watching its prey, it's watching. It's watching intently with focus. Not for a second does it lose that focus. There is a new direction for us. A new way of being that is a departure from disappointment. A new way of investing in the self, investing energy. Not in the way that we have done in the past. but by rooting deeply here. The power of perspective. And I have determination too. The Chariot, bookending this Queen of Swords. What's under that Chariot? The Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, this is where it's all at. There's disappointment in the center. Realizing that we're generating our own disappointment and that we have the power to just stop doing that. We can just stop. We're the ones drinking from the poison cup again and again and again. We're drawn back to it. And every time it hurts. And we have the choice, we have the power to just stop doing that. To recognize that following thought. Apply this however it resonates, but I'm applying it to myself. That following thought always hurts. It leads nowhere. Again, unless that's a thought that's being received and it feels good and it's a dream and you're letting the dream be received, that's different. I'm talking about where are we going? What journeys are we taking in our mind? What are we investing our internal energy into? Because where your attention is, where your attention goes, your energy flows. So what are we looking at? Are we thinking about the past? Are we spending a lot of time thinking about the past? Or thinking in a way that we have in the past? Has that ever served us? Has that ever gotten us anywhere except out of the present moment and into some confused, tangled, unhappy place? Really seriously looking at that and making a new decision to take a new journey deeper into right now. To stop departing from the now and make the sole focus of our adventure and exploration, our attention on being here now, which means putting down the thought. That's the power of our perspective, continuously returning to awareness of the present moment and our being within it and as it. Heightening the awareness here, keeping the focus here. Returning to that innocence. The mind will call it ignorance because it's trying to shame us out of it. Ignorance is bliss. That phrase has been used in a disdainful way. It's time to own that with pride. My innocence is bliss. My innocence is beautiful. My innocence is my demonstration of my trusting the universe. My innocence, my decision to stay here and not try to know, to remain ignorant. If you call it ignorant, then let it be. Let it be so. Let the mind call it ignorance. It is innocence. It's beautiful. It's pure. And it is our natural state. It is that which we are meant to dwell in. Staying in the now, not departing from it, holding it in our frame fully. That's what keeps us in the highest vibrational energy, if that's the thing anyone is concerned about. It's staying right here. You don't fix your vibration by following thoughts out of the present moment. You keep your vibration naturally high in its naturally high state, the state of bliss, which is the highest vibration, transcendence, by just being here. Again, you are naturally high vibration. It's only resistance that lowers it. And it's resistance to the present moment, which takes place by our following thought out of the present moment. And that thought is going to tell us, it's going to give us 1,000,001 reasons to follow it away from here and now. Stop following it. Stay here. keep returning to your good feeling. Realize that heaven is now. We've never been separate from it. It's not some other place. It's not some future destination. It's here and it's now. That's the only place it's ever been and ever will be. There's no escape from samsara. Samsara is nirvana. They are one and the same. This is it. And it's accessible. It is something that we can realize for ourselves in this lifetime easily. In fact, it doesn't take years and years of meditation and discipline. And whipping yourself on a mountaintop. You don't have to crawl in the desert. Crawl through the desert on your knees. There we go. You don't even have to say words in the right order. You can just realize all of it right here, right now. That bliss is present. That feeling good is your natural state. You just let that arise and you recognize that thought only ever pulls you away from it. So we stop following the thought and we just stay here in heaven. In Eden, trusting that it is all taken care of. Okay. Shit. It is all about shifting focus in the present moment. Seeing through a new lens, a pure lens, a clear lens. The one that is not obscured by mind. When we put down the mind, everything is clear. Yeah. When we put down the mind, which is only ever confusing and obscuring and occluding. It's a bunch of bullshit, right? Deception. When we put it down, we see clearly. This is my portal. This is my seeing what really is. And what really is fucking fabulous. That's where everything flows. Feeling, seeing through feeling. Not through the eyes, not through the mind, not through conceptualization. The realm of imagination is accessed through feeling. You don't get to it up here. It's got to start here. We are meant to dwell in this place of feeling, to return there, to live there. To just be in the flow and let the flow take us. Again, not trying to figure it out, not trying to see where it goes. Trusting. Trusting. Hi, buddy. Sorry. Cutting out the bullshit. It's the sword of truth. And it's a sort of, it's an ace. It's another new beginning. A clear one. Yeah. One where we cut our ties to anything that is trying to control by fear. Notice when those thoughts are saying things like, you got to do the work, you're not taking responsibility, you're trying to escape, do the work. Can you feel the threatening tone of that? That whole you're being irresponsible? That's not the soul. That's not soul. That's ego, and it's a trick, it's a trap to try to pull you out of doing the actual work, the actual responsible thing, which is staying present in high sensation and good feeling. Anything that feels like fear, first of all, fear is just exhilaration, and we can shift it directly into that. Second of all, anything that feels like fear is manipulation. If it's trying to tell you to do something, trying to get you to do something out of fear, the fear of what happens if you don't, notice that and don't follow it. Do not follow fear. Or if the fear is saying, don't stay present, don't let go of this thought, you need to think this thought, whatever direction it's trying to pull you, just don't go there. Choose to feel that fear as exhilaration. Don't deny it, don't look away from it. Just don't let it fill your vision. Include it. Everything is coming to us. We don't have to do anything. It is not our job to arrange. Again, you use your own discernment. There are times when it's time for us to take action, yes. And when it feels good, when we're in the flow and things are coming to us and it's time for us to make decisions and say, yes, no, this over there, that back here, you know, this one goes first and that one comes later, then that's fine. That's being in the flow too. But we let that happen. We're meant to just sit in the knowledge of our well-being and our worthiness, open to the bliss of the present moment. And that means we're open to all energy flowing, and it all just flows. It comes to us. It's when we are, it's when we're caught up in the mental space that we become closed off. And the mind is tricky. It will tell you again, it will tell you and appeal to your desire to suffer, to prove yourself, that you got to do the hard work of figuring this out, that you got to do the hard work of looking at the shit and integrating it, that integration is work, that you got to go find and uncover and unearth these pieces of yourself that are broken and missing, and you got to bring them back in, and that's your responsibility. You are whole. That's a trap. That's a fucking trap. And that's what keeps us distracted from the reality that we are complete and well and worthy. It's a distraction. It's an illusion. You have never been broken. You don't need to heal. You are whole. You are healed now. You've never been wounded. Keep coming back. Keep coming, returning to presence, which really, again, just means you're not departing. You're not getting sucked into the trap of the mind. Confusion, overwhelm. It can be really hard to make decisions, to understand what it is that we want when we're not in this state of presence. When we're trying to figure it out, when we're trying to figure out the right choice, we can't feel the one that we really want. Again, we got to put down the mind, quiet. It's this feedback loop in the mind. We're afraid of making the wrong choice, so we're trying to figure out what the right one is. But in all of our trying to figure out what the right one is, we can't figure it out. We can't feel it. So then we become more afraid. If we just sat in the silence, all the answers are in the silence. All the answers are in the silence, in the stillness. All we ever got to do is give up the thinking. You can't hear the answer when you just keep asking the question over and over and over. You got to stop asking long enough to hear the response. And the mind will freak out in that. The mind will freak out in stillness and silence and say, what are you doing? You're not doing. We're not going to get to the bottom of this if you don't keep digging. No, that's a trap. Notice that. Make the choice. Do the work of staying present, of just not following, just not going there and letting everything arise. It all comes to you. Everything comes to you. You don't have to go out there and find it. It comes to you. Trust that it does. Let yourself be in the stillness. You're not going to miss it. You don't make a wrong choice when you're sitting. First of all, there's no wrong choice. That's not how it works. But you get everything that you want when you're open to it. It's all always flowing to us. It's just our continuous closing against it that keeps it from getting in much more easily and rapidly and without any effort. The mind is so afraid. It thinks it has to control everything. It thinks it has to be continuously doing. In all of the thinking, it's not knowing. And if it just stopped, if we just set it down long enough to know the present moment, we would know that everything is right. Everything is all right, and it's all happening to me. And all of the answers would become clear. If I stop trying to find them, they present themselves to me. That's how it works. You can't hear your guidance when you're going, when you're thinking, when you're trying to find it. And if we just stay still, if we just stay in presence, that guidance streams through uninterrupted. Everything flows. We're an open channel, an actual open channel for the soul which we are, for the whole of ourself to come through. And all it takes, again, is not being distracted by the mind pulling us away from it, closing off, pinching off that connection, which is always there. We're never disconnected. Never, ever, ever. And again, we don't have to do work to become connected. We just stop doing the thing that is pinching off the connection. And the thing that's pinching off the connection is thinking. Thinking obscures all of it. It keeps us closed off from enjoying the bliss that is life experience, from seeing the heaven that is surrounding us and is us at all times. Feminine energy. The energy of the universe itself, which is saying, let me make the decisions. I'm you from your higher perspective. I have all the information. I am the one plugging in the circuits on this board. Just let me do it. Just let me do the work, says the universe. Let me handle it. I'm here to do that. I can do that like nothing. Things that take you 50, 100, 1,000 years to accomplish, I can do with a snap of my fingers. I can do in the blink of an eye, if you just let me. If you just stop trying to do it yourself. Stop trying to do it alone. This fucking obsession with independence and self-reliance. Rely on the universe. Lean on non-physical. That is yourself. You want to practice true self-reliance? Stop trying to figure it out with your brain and let the whole of yourself take care of it. Stop trying to do. Give up the struggle. Give up the effort and the work. Do the real work of just being here. Just being here. Stop following the thoughts away from now. It's a trap, it's a trap, it's a trap. Every single time. Carrot on a stick, and you fall for it, and you've been falling for it. And that's okay. You had to do it to learn. But it's time. It's time we learned this. The thoughts lead nowhere. All of the power, all of the pleasure, everything is right here and now. Just stay here, which means just stop following the thoughts. The thoughts that are excuses to keep you out of the bliss that is yours in this moment and every moment, continuously. Do the work of feeling good. When you're in this place, you are wickedly attractive. That's the way it's meant to be. You are attracting everything to you. You're allowing everything to come to you. That is Empress energy. That's what it's meant to be like. This is the most attractive energy. This is the attractive draw of the Empress. Everything comes to you. Focus your energy, invest in this, invest in stillness, invest in silence, invest in quieting the mind, which just means not following the thoughts. It means recognizing you're not thinking thoughts, thoughts are just happening, they're drifting through. So you don't have to stop thinking, you just stop following them. That's it. That's all. There's no effort there. It's just allowance. You're just no longer constantly shifting your gaze all over the place because, oh, there goes a thought and there goes one. It's, you know, you're not trying to follow them all. You're just going, shoop, shoop. Yep, I see that they're passing. I see they're coming through. There's thoughts happening. There's all kinds of stuff. I'm here. All of those thoughts are happening while I'm right here, and I am seeing them all from my place, rooted in presence, rooted in the now. I'm not going to let thinking and conceptualization interrupt my direct experience of being and feeling what is. Okay. I'm going to clarify, but to me, this feels clear. Yeah, we have it all right here, right now. We have it all right here, right now. Look at it differently. Another card that involves disappointment, but also self-examination, self-reflection. See that you have the power to just be. See that you have everything. You are source, infinite energy. I'm hearing Alan Watts again repeating the line of the Guru. Come off it, Shiva. What are you doing pretending to be this guy with all of these problems? That's exactly it. Every time the mind presents a problem, it's false. It's a fiction. It is an illusion. It's not real. Don't go there. Just stop going there. Keep returning to the bliss of the present moment. Use the power of your focus to stay here and now. That's how everything is allowed to flow. Why is the Seven of Cups here? Which would really be saying, why is confusion? Why the overwhelm? we've been looking at something too up close, take a look at the way that we're looking. I don't know if that makes sense, but we've been too in it. What we want to look at is the way that we've been so in it. Working hard to figure this out, it's not getting us anywhere. Yeah, take a step back. Take a step back and see that it's all happening. Can you feel the difference between the examination that's happening here and the gentle contemplation that's happening here? The contemplation of something that is naturally taking place. It's growing. We don't have to put effort into it. It's about letting energy align, not trying to see how it aligns or force it into place, letting it line up. And that means staying present in the bliss that is right now. Okay, how do I put this? The dream is real. The dream is reality. All you got to do is realize that. And you realize that by being in it. Feeling into it, feeling into the present moment. Again, you just stop looking away from it. You realize that the dream is right now. Bliss, all of the wonderful things you want to feel are here right now when you just stop looking away from them. By this hyper-focus, this hyper-fixation on thought, on thinking that you got to do anything. You don't got to do anything. There's the Queen of Swords again. Except stay here. Sit. Sit and do not shift your gaze from the heaven that is before you. Everything comes in here. And if there's a question, if there is a path for you to take, you will see it clearly. Your discernment is on point when you're sitting in the stillness and the silence of simply being. You don't have to figure it out. You will know. You will just point and it will be done. None of this questioning of, is it the right decision? When you stop questioning, when you stop asking, you receive the answer and you trust it. That's it. That's it. I know. I know. Tell me about the moon. Because there's fear here too. Yeah. Of course we're afraid of this. Of course, again, the mind is going to tell you everything it can to scare you out of just sitting in your power, in presence, in the present moment. Ow, that really hurts. Please stop. But that is the high ground. That's the ground you want. It's trying to trick you into giving up your position. It's trying to trick you into giving up your position by telling you it's a bad one, by telling you it's not secure, by telling you you got to do something else here. None of that is true. Look at that. Moon, moon. None of that is true. It's false. It's false light. Don't follow the false light. All of the light that you need is right here. Just stay in it. Stay with whatever arises. That's your guidance. If you feel like you're wandering through the dark, don't run. Stay still. The Hierophant, that's where the true information comes through. That's where you can receive the real guidance again. Anything that feels like fear is not from a higher power. It's not from your soul. It's not from your higher self. If it feels like fear, if it feels like shame, oh my gosh, I gotta do this, or I'm failing, or I'm gonna get it wrong, or I'm being irresponsible, or whatever it is, if it's fear that's motivating you, that's pushing you, it's not your guidance. Don't follow the fear. If the fear is saying run, stand still. Stay there. This is challenging a long established pattern of domination by mind again. Whatever the fear is telling you to do the opposite. And if you can't, most of all, recognize if you're having a hard time discerning what it is that you want, stop thinking. Put the thinking down altogether. Stop trying to discern with the mind. Stop trying to figure it out with the mind. Stop thinking. Recognize it's all just been a distraction from your feeling good in the present moment. Do that. Do that. And then if action flows through you, let it flow through you without a thought, without question. 7 of Wands just came back. Yeah, that's the clear path. You don't need to fight your way through. You don't need to rule out the bad options. It's all of that is a red herring. All of that. It's just distraction from being here and now. It's here and now that gives you the full perspective and the clarity of true guidance. Yeah. You've got the Hermit and the Moon. Again, the soul will lead the way. You just gotta let it. And everything is being brought in. Again, you don't have to go out and get it. You don't have to fight for it. It's coming to you. Just let it come. I know, you stood on my cards. I know. Thank you. Why is the Hermit here? Just let it come. Karma, judgment, divine source energy itself, bringing it in. It's not your job to go find it. It's not your job to do anything. You don't gotta do the work of clearing your vibration. You just stop following the thought away from your natural state of pure, attractive, radiant energy. And you let it all come in. ideas, answers, manifestations, all of it. It's all a manifestation. Contacting your state of bliss that is natural to you, that is the realization of heaven on earth. Because heaven is the true reality. And anything that contradicts that is false. Anything that contradicts that is false. Keep recognizing that. Keep returning to your truth. Analyze anything that feels defensive. Anything, don't analyze, look at it. Anything that feels defensive, anything that feels like work, anything that feels like, oh, I gotta do this before this, and this. Pay attention to that. Recognize thinking is not feeling. Your only job is to feel. Put thought down and let it all come to you. All of the answers and everything you want comes to you in the silence and the stillness and the joy of simply being. That is your natural state. That's the state you're intended to be in. In that state, everything is allowed to flow to you with ease. Stay there. That's how we accrue this positive momentum. We just stop adding to the negative momentum. You don't have to slow it down. You don't have to stop it. You just stop adding to it. And you keep returning to now. That's building this positive charge. And that takes over. Eventually it becomes the dominant. And now you're on the cycle of karma that is accruing positively. And it's unstoppable. Look at that. The world. A new cycle of positive karma. The dominance of feminine energy. Which doesn't dominate, by the way. It's not in its nature to do that. It is in the nature of feminine to sit just on top of masculine. Just on top. It's not trying to overpower and override. It's just above. It's just on the throne. With masculine right there, a step behind it, following. As always, this has nothing to do with gender. Absolutely nothing to do with gender. It's just a description. You might as well just call it negative energy, which again can be confusing because we talk about negative emotions as a bad thing. We talk about negative in terms of bad and positive in terms of good. That's not what it means. It's a charge. It's a charge of energy. It's the charge that pulls. It's attractive, whereas positive is drawn to the negative charge. That's the way it's supposed to work. When you let things flow, when you stay in the present moment and you're not following thoughts out of it, your energy is flowing fully. You're flowing with the energy of all that is. You are wildly attractive. Everything is allowed to come to you. You start accruing momentum in this new way. And it all is just, it's all just given to you. Again, it's just brought to you everything that you want. This is right with the 10 of Cups. You want to invest in the dream? Invest in being right now, because right now is the dream. Right now is heaven. Be here. Focus on the bliss that is present for you always. And you generate only more of that. That's how you let everything come to you. By stopping the seeking. And you stop seeking by stop following thoughts. And just being fucking here. Just being here. Let all of your focus be in the present moment. Again, we're allowing. It all comes up for us. It's all of this blended energy of letting things come up, letting things come in. There's no work. There's nothing you do. When you plant a seed, you let it grow. You're not in the soil measuring it every day going, how do I make it grow? That's not how it works. And none of your understanding of how something grows is going to change. The fact that it grows, the speed at which it grows, the way that it grows, none of that matters. It's growing. Let it grow. Stay here. Enjoy it. Everything comes to fruition. Everything comes in. Everything comes to all of us. We just got to stand still and let it in and receive it. That's it. That's it. Stay in the receptive mode. The receptive mode is presence, is appreciation, is joy, is peace, is bliss. It's not thinking. It's not figuring it out. Stay here. Tell me about this Six of Pentacles. Just invest in stillness again. Thank you. Yeah. Page of Cups. It comes up. It comes up from beneath. It doesn't come from out and above. It doesn't come from this kind of above. It fills in. We're just letting things fill in, flow to us. King of Cups. When you try to control the tide, when you try to control the feeling, and we're going to do some feeling and some thinking, it just restricts the flow. That's it. There's this habit of saying, well, it's a responsible thing to think, so I'm going to spend some time thinking, and then I'm going to let myself do the irresponsible thing of feeling. That's not true. That's a trick. That's a trap. That's okay, but it's not true. If you want to let it all come to you, then let it all come. Stop trying to justify its arrival. Because it's coming. It's coming. Be aware of anything that says you gotta follow me. There are a lot of thoughts, there's a lot of high speed energies moving through right now. Anything that tries to grab you and pull you along, be aware of that. Step back from that. Also, you can control the energy around you. You don't control the flow. But you control your position in it, and you're flowing with it. And yeah, if something feels like it's moving too quickly, don't go that quickly. Don't follow it. If anything says you gotta do this, it's gotta be now, this speed, whatever, there's no gotta. There is no have to. Return to presence. Return to right now. Don't let anything hook you and drag you along. Anything that is operating by fear is trying to control. It's trying to control you, and you don't respond by trying to control the fear, because that's engaging with it on its terms. That's what it wants. You just say, I'm not playing that game. I'm not playing. I don't go with you. I'm not fighting. I'm just not going. Everything comes quickly and easily when you just stand still and let it. When you're just receptive to it. which means, again, I know I'm a broken record, but this is all that's coming out. Stay feeling. Stay in feelings. Stay in feelings. Let the thoughts go silent. So crickets chirping. Stay in feeling. It all comes crashing in. Any barrier that there appeared to be, it's not actually there. It will be removed. It is removed. It's already been removed. It's only ever a perception that's blocking things from coming to us. So stop perceiving. If you can't just drop the perception of it's not here, it's not here, it's not here. So stop that perceiving. Stop putting all of the focus into that and just focus on being in the present moment. When you're no longer thinking the thoughts of I can't find it, it shows up. But you can't go from the thought of I can't find it to it's here. So find the middle ground, which is the peace of presence, of just no longer thinking that thought. Just put the thought down. Put thought down altogether. And it all collapses in. You're holding a space then. You understand? Nature abhors a void. You're creating a void. When you're not following that thought, you're not filling it in with some kind of perception. When you're not perceiving, you're creating a space that nature then has to fill in with the best possible solution, the best possible outcome, arrangement of energies. Stay in the void. The void is presence. The void is just being. It's not thinking. Put down the thoughts, and everything comes to you.